So we have one more story before the break. I would like to introduce to our humble stage lovely Neil, who is originally South African born, and he is a musician and a skeptic. And what was the word you said? Stutznik. He's a bit of a joker. And yeah, I'm excited to hear live his touching story. Let's give him a hand.
It is actually more intense on this side.
More what?
Intense. A little scary.
We're here with you, right?
Why, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, I wish I was actually after the break now because I had a glass of wine and need to go to the toilet. So we'll make this quick. Does that mean my time started? Yes. So, hi everybody. This is a story actually about, it's a tragedy story that turned into like some creative spirits. And it starts with me, as Kissan said, Charlie said there, amongst other things I am a guitarist, composer. And as one does, it starts with a song. It's a happy song, a song that I've been playing for many years, since I was a teen. And what some guitarists do is I kind of always have a different tuning for my guitar, so I change the strings and it becomes a happy song, and actually everyone, even if you don't know how to play guitar, you can just strum along and it sounds happy and it sounds good. It's a bit of a cheat. But I decided one day, what if I made it into a sad song? So I thought, well, I'm a musician and I've got the skills, why don't I just change some tuning again and change it, and I did. And I got into, musicians, like a nice open minor chord, and I played around with it, and I had a few themes and little melodies, nothing much, sort of like a start of a story, a start of a sketch. And I was quite happy with it, so I put it aside. And the next day, my brother called me and told me that my father had a stroke. He was on holiday with my mother in China, and age 67, he had a sudden stroke. I'll tell you a little bit about my father. He was a wonderful man. I mean, I think many sons can say that. He really was a genuine man, caring, really intelligent, very witty. Everyone said he was always very funny. He was Egyptian born, came to Israel in the early 50s, like many people from Egypt. And brushing along forward, in his 30s, he decided to take an adventure. He got a one-year contract to go to South Africa, and so he took me, and the 3 kids. That's what I remember. Off to South Africa for this one-year contract, as an adventurous man would be and would do. And we never came back. They're still there. I came back a few years ago. He's also quite a self-made man. He started his career in fixing machinery in a textile company. And at the end of his career, before he retired, he was a CEO of like an 800-plus company. Really kind of worked his way up. And I remember in my early 20s, I went with him one of the few times I went with him to work. And it was one of the first times I was really, in a cheesy way, quite proud of him, because we'd walk around the factory floor and he knew everyone by name, no matter who, and they all knew him and about me, and that I was coming to visit. Cheesy, but it was like really good pride that I had in him. He's also one of the reasons I grew my passion for music and guitar. Not only because he always had like LPs and tapes, started off with LPs of guitar music, but also he taught me my first few chords. So he kind of like gave me the inspiration for guitar. And here I am now, and I was apparent deathbed. Doctors didn't know if he was going to wake up, and if he was, they didn't think he would be the same. From a musical perspective, this is amazing. Like the most unfortunate, perfect timing. It was only yesterday that I made this framework of a sad song, like a perfect structure, ready-made like canvas, with a few themes, nothing prepared, but like ready for the taking, and super sore heart. Angry and confused and passionate and what the fuck is going on? How can my dad be in a deathbed? And so I just had no word, but the music came out, and the little melodies formed themselves, and the nuances came, and all the like different struggles of pain to anger to sadness came out, and there was a bit of classical music and like fiery tango, and it all just like burst into this mesh of whew. And all this while I was waiting for my plane, because I booked a plane to go join my mom and my dad at like 2 a.m. the next day. About an hour or two before I left, or got onto the plane or went to the airport, that is, I decided to record this. I had only started my little musical journey, so I didn't have that much equipment, but I had a little Google Nexus phone and a microphone, and I just decided to just record it a few times, and then off I went. And so I didn't make it on time, unfortunately. Shit. And the whole story of like China can be like a 20-minute story, because no one speaks English, and I don't speak Chinese, and my mom refuses to cry until we can get dad back home. And in China, there's no concept of burial or moving, because everyone gets cremated. So the consular office from South Africa told us, by the way, there's lots of South Africans who died in China, but no one's left at the body because like it's too complex and it's too difficult and it's too expensive and no one speaks English. Cutting that story very short, it was 20 hours a day of 5 days a week of literally waking up 5 a.m., going to bed at 2 a.m., of trying to figure it out until the day we got all the permits and things relaxed, and we decided to announce that my father had passed away in the burial. And I decided to actually announce this by putting the song out. So I took a little half hour, edited it, and off it went. And authenticity is the name of the game. I put it out there, and I know it's a good story, but it just spread. I was really starting. The first pretty thing I put out, and like in 2 days it had 15,000 views, and people had shared, and people giving me all over the world, just giving me beautiful like feedback and things, and a guitar magazine wanted to do an interview with me in the States, and another publishing company wanted to like have plans to put it up there. And I learned a hell of a lot through this process about longing and pain and family and community, but one of the main things I learned is about how to be a creative, actually, how to be a musician. And I learned that to be a musician, you need to be a person first, and a musician second. And it's guided me since then about how I go through my creative process. I try to be the near, and I try to think about the story and how it starts and how it ends, and just be present with it, be zen with my story. I just found that if you're truly authentic and truly meditate with the story that you're going to give, the creativity and the music just falls into place.